right, Ellis Cinema back, another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, wonderful. Whoo! Been a minute, hasn't it? Sean, where you been for 10 months? Well, that's none of your goddamn business. I mean, if you listen to the shows, and I literally tell you every single episode, I don't even think I missed a beat. Every single episode that I can't stand doing this show, when are you going to believe it? Because, like, for good or ill, I have a job where I'm with the people. I'm a man of the people. Talking to people every single fucking day. Every day. And we're in a weird spot with movies right now. Entertainment in general. And I'm not going to get into the whole writer's strike. When I lived out in Los Angeles, I lived through 2 of those. Obviously, with the incorporation of AI, shit's gonna get kind of weird, but I'm not smart enough to talk about such subjects. But back to the whole being a man of the people. I'm not a man of the people. People hate me, but I do talk to these people, and it's very hard not to get kind of depressed about where the state of movies are headed. Most people don't care. I mean, so what I do is a couple times a year, I actually rent out a theater in Toledo, Maumee, Ohio, but I'm based out of Toledo, and I rent out a theater, and you know, we get people to come out. It's not to say that everyone hates movies or anything like that, but a case in point is I'll give you 2 examples of things that just happened yesterday. Right? So I'm going around, I'm collecting money to rent out this theater and whatnot, and I come up to a kid that I haven't really talked to him all that much, but I was just like, hey, do you like movies? And this dude, 25, 26, he's like, no, not really. Just like, and I don't know if my bosses were mad at me, but when I walked into the room and I was like, hey, you watch movies, blah, blah, blah. No, not really. And I was just like, all right, well then get the fuck out of my face. I just left it like that. Now, did I need to be awkward and leave the room after I said that? No, probably not, but this is just the way that I am. I don't like to be this way. I hate that I am this way, but I am this way. So that's thing number 1. Just flat out, hey, do you like movies? Because I didn't want to, hey, give me $10, $20 to put towards this movie night that I'm throwing at a nice little old-fashioned theater, old-school marquee, that sort of thing. I'm not even going to go forward with asking you for any money if your immediate response is no, I don't watch movies. So that's example number 1. Example number 2, I'm with my chick yesterday, and we were fooling around a little bit, and I had Friday on in the background. She had never seen Friday. She's younger than me. And the only thing that she knew from Friday, she had seen clips, but get this, gang, get this. She had seen clips of Bye, Felicia. Everybody knows that shit. That's from Friday. Why am I saying that? I hope my fucking crowd knows, quotes from Friday. But, like, she's like, oh, yeah, I've seen tons of clips of this on TikTok. And I've mentioned before on the show, like 10 years ago, I'd have told you Vine, TikTok, whatever. Like I hate social media to begin with. In fact, I hate it so much that I'm very aware that by not having a Facebook page, personal or business, not having a Twitter page, a personal Twitter page, or anything else like that hinders the growth of my podcast. But I don't know. I don't like it. There's just so much time that could be spent doing other things. Anyway, she says she sees these clips on TikTok or whatever, and here's the crux of the issue for me. I'm glad that you are aware of such things. TikTok made you aware of such things. The disconnect is when I was like, okay, so you saw that on TikTok. Didn't it make you want to see where that's from? Like, oh, I should watch Friday. No. Her answer was no. I was just like, That's the fucking problem with that. So there's long form media, short form media. That's the fucking problem with short form media. Or it's the problem with the populace, and I tend to lean towards the people. It's the people's fault. But think about that for a second. For someone like me who just loves long form media, the telling of stories, not to say that a short film isn't good here and there, but if I'm being honest with you on the spot right now, I don't like short films for the simple fact that usually I'm left wanting more, and I get it. From a filmmaker's standpoint, this can catapult you into making feature films and getting a bigger budget. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But more often than not, I want to see more, and that more never really happens. So to hear her say that, like, no, I just thought Bye Felicia was funny. I think it was from Friday. Well, didn't you want to see where it's from? No, I don't. That just rubs me the wrong fucking way. And I know it's me. I have anger problems. I should probably talk to someone. But this is my form of therapy. This is my form of therapy. So 10 months went by, gang. 10 months. And again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of why. It's more than just the fact that I hate doing this fucking show. It's more than that. Like, it's just like, what's the longevity of it? Do I think movies will be like kind of like clothes in a sense, where it'll go out of style and it'll come back in style? Yeah, I hope so. I really do, because, I think of people like my friend Kyle, who does his own movie podcast. That boy puts in so much work, puts my fucking podcast to shame. I Know Movies and You Don't with Kyle Brule. And if you listen to this episode, I believe, well, actually, it probably won't come out till like a month after that, but I'm supposed to be on his show to do South Park, the movie. I can't wait to do that. But when I think of people like that, it's just, it's such a bummer, and for a while there, I was like, you know what? I'm only doing a fucking show if I have a guest on, which if you guys listen to my last show, like, to me, that was almost a mic drop situation. One of my favorite lyrical artists of all time was nice enough to come on the show, and we both had such a fucking good time, and I've continued to talk with him after that. That's the only good thing about this show, is that some of the people that I have on this show have such a fucking good time that it forms relationships. I'm not going to deny that. So you could make the argument, well, I should continue to do that. It's like, okay, but like, I'm at the age now, I got enough friends, I could use some more enemies. You know what I'm saying? So we just had, like, I had to want to do it again, and I was burnt out. Like, if you guys listen to probably the last 20 or 30 episodes that I had done, full-time work, full-time school, doing the podcast, and trying to have some resemblance of a personal life, and there's only so much time in a day, and I could go into, I was burnt out, or what is the point of this podcast, I could go into logistics, but the fact of the matter is, just didn't want to do it. Just it's not that I wasn't having fun. I do, and like, I would feel bad when, like, people would text me, like, when the fuck are you going to do another episode, man? I start my mornings with your dumbass voice. And while I do appreciate, or conversely, the one that always bums me out, oh yeah, I put you on to fall asleep to. Your voice, the voice and the content puts me right to sleep. I don't need NyQuil. I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. And things happen, and now I have a little bit more free time, and, the whole reason this started was to do it for the people, so I guess here the fuck I am again. God damn it. So I decided to do with one that I don't mind kind of botching, because the merits of the film itself, in terms of me kind of like shaking the cobwebs, working the rust off. This was a good one to fail on, because, quite frankly, you don't need me to tell you to see this. I know people that aren't even, they don't give a fuck about movies. They, all they do is play video games and work. That's all they do. But somehow or another, this film was powerful enough, maybe powerful is not the right word, or good enough it even reached those circles of gamers and whatever. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Instead of coming back with some films that the distributors were nice enough to send you their shit, they stopped, by the way. They stopped sending me stuff because I just stopped doing the fucking show, and I think I got a pretty angry email. So, like, we're sending you this stuff, but you're not doing it? Yeah, kinda. But I'm also kind of a cunt in the sense that, like, do you have any idea how much money I've put into the entertainment industry? Whether it be going to see a movie opening night, being in the theater 2-3 times a week, still buying physical media. To me, I've played my part. Anything from here on out is just a gift to the entertainment industry, which doesn't give a fuck about me. They'll take all the free publicity, but hey, you want to kick the dude a couple of shekels? Kick the dude a couple of bucks? No, it's not going to fucking happen. Why? Because everybody and their goddamn brother has a podcast now and then. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just, as I've said in earlier shows before, just because you are able to have a microphone does not mean that you are entertaining enough to have your own show. I see it all the fucking time. And worse, in my experience, I get pulled into this nonsense. So people who probably shouldn't have a fucking podcast or a radio show or whatever ask me to come on, and it's just so that I do heavy lifting. Listen, if you guys are ever, any of you out there that are listening, ever thinking about starting a podcast, I got 2 pieces of advice for you. 1, always be consistent. Like, I'm talking 2-3 a week, 1 a week, whatever it is. Consistency is key in terms of defeating this algorithm that we all fucking fall victim to. But 2, you better have something to say, because I have been on far too many podcasts of other people, and I like these people dearly. I do, but, well, you know, I just thought that was cool. That is not enough for you to have a fucking radio show. I'm sorry. This is, I thought it was pretty sweet. Have something to say. And, of course, the remainder of the show, I probably won't be able to say, or won't be doing a good job of saying anything. But, hey, I'm for someone knocking off the rust, at least he's passionate. As you see on your screen, your dial, however you're choosing to join me today, which I don't understand why you're joining me today, but I appreciate you nonetheless. I'm going to try to be more positive on this show. I doubt it. By nature, I'm a fucking negative person, so it is what it is. As you see on your screen, your dial, talk to me. So I think it came out. It came out this year in the States. I'm curious if it came out last year internationally, because, you know, the internet says crazy shit. Because if you Google Talk to Me right now, it says it's a 2022 horror film. Now, could it got delayed release for whatever? Sure, probably. But I got to see it over the summer, and currently it's in my 5 for 2023. It is in my 5 for 2023. It is very hard for a film, a horror film specifically, to give me the fear. I always tell my chick this. Oh, yeah, I got the fear a couple times. Got the fear. This film gave me the fear. It is very classic horror tropes with a modern feel that is as sharp as they come. I kid you not. I was blown away by this Australian flick. This little, I hesitate to call it indie, because these days, like, indie and practical effects I feel like those two phrases don't go with each other, because, one, people don't fucking use practical effects anymore, which fucking, you know what, now I'm thinking about, my chick has to be so fucking annoying. So she's going into social work, couldn't be further away from this type of energy, this type of realm, like, in terms of the entertainment industry. I don't even think she knew what practical effects were till I came along, and now she's probably like, Jesus Christ, Sean, will you shut the fuck up? I could not give a shit less if a film used actual prosthetics or uses CG. I don't care. However, I have physically watched her kind of groan if she sees an overblown CG spectacle. just grown, like The Flash or something like that, you know? Just, ugh, man, why does that look so shitty? Well, that's because you and your nerd fucking culture prefer here I go again. You prefer CG over practical effects. And then I'll show her something from the 80s, and she'll be like, that looks really cool, but that movie's dumb as fuck. Like, I showed her, like, a Reanimator, not too, you know what, we're getting off track. Talk to me. So a little Australian film. So first and foremost, Talk to Me stars Sophie Wilde. Holy bejesus, did she fucking kill it. Zoe Terakes, Miranda Otto, who was, what was it? Wasn't she Iowan in Lord of the Rings? Iowan. Chris Alosio, Otis Dhanji, Joe Bird, Alexandra Jensen, and a host of other kind of relatively newcomers. Holy shit, were they so fucking good. The cast was so believable in this. I don't care how outlandish your fucking premise is for your film. As long as everyone is playing it straight, and we're not just doing, you know, Sharknado. Hey, it's irony on top of irony. That doesn't fucking work. I know that there is a fucking legion of fans that fucking love Sharknado, but, you know, I'll try to make this rant as quick as possible. There's bad good movies, and then there's bad movies. You can actually, if you're making a movie, and you're trying to be ironic, and everything throughout it is supposed to be ironic, it's too much. It's too much irony. So much irony you could cut it with a spoon. But case in point, this is a pretty outlandish fucking premise. However, because of the way that it's executed, whether, you know, the fucking great, the very dark tone that our cinematographer Aaron McLisky gives us, so fucking good. Whether it's the fucking ambiance, the music gives us by Cornell Wilczek, so fucking good. And at the end of the day, it is such a crazy-ass possession film. Or is it possession film? I don't know. You know what? What does Wikipedia say? Wikipedia says, Talk to Me is a 2022 Australian supernatural horror film directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. Wouldn't it, man, I wish my brother and I could totally fucking write and direct films together. But he's fucking too busy saving lives, fighting fires. He doesn't want to come to entertain the masses. He wants to save the masses, and George, you're more admirable for it. Australian supernatural horror film directed by Danny and Michael Philippou and written by Danny Philippou and Bill Hinzman, based, on a concept by Daley Pearson. It stars Sophie Wilde, Alexandra Jensen, Joe Bird, Otis Dhanji, Miranda Otto, Zoe Terakes, Chris Alosio, Marcus Johnson, and Alexandria Stephenson. This film follows a group of... Okay, here we go. The film follows a group of teenagers who discover they are able to contact spirits. Using a mysterious embalmed hand. Only for things to go a little too far. Just a little too far. That's a fucking understatement. Talk to Me premiered at the Adelaide Film Festival on October 30th of 2022 and was released in Australia on the 27th of July of 23 by Maslow Entertainment. The film received positive reviews from critics who praised its story, horror sequences, practical effects, sound design was fucking killer, and performances, with Sophie Wilde and Joe Bird receiving particular praise. That's interesting. Joe Bird, is that the one who played the brother? Yeah, played the brother. I mean, he was good, but for me, my opinion, which means absolutely nothing, I got to give it to Sophie Wilde and Zoe Terakes. Terakes. Somebody, what did I read the other day? Zoe Terakes. They actually banned this film in Kuwait, in most Gulf countries. They banned this film in Kuwait because Zoe Terakes is a trans actor. The fuck are we doing anymore, dude? Like, why does society make me say this shit? You know this is a fucking movie, right? So let me give you an example. I'm the type of person that thinks Idris Elba should play James Bond. He can't do that. He's black. Do you hear yourself? James Bond is a fictional character. A fictional character. And we're saying, in Kuwait, we're saying that we can't even show a movie because a fake-ass character, in real life is trans or queer. Are you I say this phrase to my chick all the time when she starts getting into political rants. And y'all fucking bore me. Okay? Y'all bore me with the stuff that you get fucking bent out of shape about. Literally, you bore me. If you come up with something new, maybe I'll partake in, fighting the good fight. But as of right now, y'all fucking bore me. This Zoe fucking... I think the thing that pisses me off the most about this is you went after someone who I thought killed it. Killed it. Now, is that precisely why you went after them? Because they killed it? Because you're fucking... Oh, I almost got canceled there. For not that... I am uncancelable, just so we're clear. Well, we'll leave it at that. I'm uncancelable, but I shouldn't have said what I was about to say. But I just think of someone who puts their heart and soul into this work and is such a likable character. Now we can't show the fucking film because of their preferences offset. Y'all fucking bore me. Straight up, you fucking bore me. Because I thought, they were all good. I think back to the whole, everybody playing it straight instead of playing it for laughs. And that's why this movie works. At the end of the day, we're talking about a fucking, let me say this again, an embalmed hand that allows you to contact spirits. That premise is fucking crazy, right? Oh, can't show it here because that lady's gay. That trans person's queer. You literally make me sick. We are going... I'm not going to get political. I'll just say, I snore, dude. Talk to Me premiered at the Adelaide Film Festival on October 30th. The film received positive reviews. It was a box office success, grossing $67 million worldwide against it. Wait for it. $4.5 million budget. Oh, that makes me so fucking happy, dude. Now, it also says that a sequel is currently in development. I got a couple ideas of how you could make the sequel work, but you can't please me ever. This film, it sits just fine by itself. We do not, and listen, if you're the filmmakers, Danny and Michael Philippou, I think Danny and Michael, either both of them or Danny, I can't remember. I apologize. Like I said, this is my botched episode, trying to get back into the swing of things. I think they worked for the camera department on the Babadook. I also showed that to my chick not too long ago. It didn't hit like I wanted it to. I realized that the age difference sometimes. I'm fucking 40 and she's 17. That's not true. I don't even know why I said that on my... People will be like, what? Anyway, can we just let things be? I think if you left and I could be wrong, I'm a fucking idiot. I think if you left this as is, this is a cult fucking classic. Well, cult classics can have sequels, Sean. I know they can, but wouldn't you say now that it lessens your view as a whole of the product if you start doing 2, 3, 4, 5? Because, when you see this film and you see the ending, you think, and it's not the same, but I just think of Nightmare on Elm Street. Dream World, there should be the ideas should be limitless, right? Because it's in the dreams. You can do anything. Supernatural world, spirit realm. No spoilers. Spirit realm, same idea. You can go and go and go if you want to. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay? And I want this movie to just be by itself. However, I cannot, in clear conscience say, Danny and Michael don't deserve more money, making another film, because that's how this works. You get a sequel. Now you have even more money for your next project if it's well received. Like, I get it from a business standpoint. I do. I'm just saying, I think if we as a culture weren't like that all the time, we wouldn't have this constant need to, like, continue the story. I forget what show I had watched not too long ago. It was One and Done. And the first thought I had was, I hope this just sits the way it is. And then it was announced that they were doing another season. Excuse me. I've had COVID for, I don't know if it's COVID. In fact, me and a couple of buddies of mine, we decided that whatever strain going into the holidays here, whatever cold strain, we're just going to name them after heavy metal songs. So last week up until this point, I've had SOD. I've had a bad case of SOD, which is the Symphony of Destruction. So I feel like I constantly have a hair in my throat. Anyway, it's been 8 days. I want to say on day 2, like, I was like, I could not, like, regulate my body temperature. So heading into the holidays is going to be super sweet. And I think they're trying to fast track another vaccine so we don't get all fucked up this winter as well. But it's out there, because I barely get sick. What sucks now is ever since the car crash, if people listen to the show, they know what I'm referring to with that. It's not an actual car crash. It may have to do with a coma. But ever since I had the traumatic event, when I get sick, I get fucking sick now. Like, it's bad. And I never used to be that. It's so foreign to me. But when I tell you on day 2 or day 3, I was like, like, it was bad, dude. And in most cases, I think nobody cares if you were sick or not, dude. Maybe I can find, there's a couple of things I wanted to read, because I thought it was, if I can't sell you on it, about the embalmed hand and partying with spirits. Yeah, you party with spirits, bro. There's a couple things that they say it better than I do, and it's also just a cheap-ass way to fill the episode time. But if you're on the fence about seeing Talk to Me, and most of the people that run in my circles, everybody saw it. So this is for the people that are like, I had heard about that. I didn't know if I wanted to pull the trigger. The ensemble never steps out of character, no matter how improbable the situation. So that goes back. This is some critic on Rotten Tomatoes. The ensemble never steps out of character, no matter how improbable the situation. Goes back to what I was saying, everybody playing it straight. Nobody's playing it for irony, and that's why films like these, films that are a little batshit insane, they can work. While Wilde and Otto are standouts, best supporting actor must go to the embalmed hand. Talk about saying a lot while saying nothing at all. Talk to Me holds you in its grips until it's over, but that's it. On the strength of pure craft and ambition, the Philippous have earned entry into the elevated whore club. Oh, I fucking hate that phrase, elevated whore. I hate it. I don't know why. I just hate it. I forget where I first heard. You know where I heard it in the most recent Scream. She was like, nah, I like elevated whore, like the Babadook and Hereditary. And I was just like, fucking boo. Whore is whore. Fucking elevated whore. I get it. If you want to say, oh, it's nothing. Actually, no. If there's torture porn, I hate that phrase too. Oh, it's torture porn. I hate a lot of phrases that the culture, coins. I hate it. Just because I think it, like, hinders your experience of the movie. But I definitely hate the phrase elevated whore. This is why I'm so bullshit. I get why it's called elevated horror. I just hate it. I just really do. The Philippous have earned entry into the elevated horror club. Maybe as they grow and develop as directors, they'll renounce their membership. The fuck's that supposed to... I swear, we just say shit to say shit. Talk to Me is a lot of unsettling fun. The Philippous show tremendous promise, and Wilde has the entrancing screen presence to become a major star sooner rather than later. I definitely agree with that. I tried to get her on the show. Guess what she said? Nothing. Left me unread. Though it leans on familiar genre tropes, I think I mentioned this earlier, though it leans on familiar genre tropes and stylistic conventions, a devastating script and charismatic cast spearheaded by Sophie Wilde make Talk to Me a terrifying and pervasively heartbreaking tale of griefs. Pervasively heartbreaking tale of grief. It is. It's more than just talking to spirits on a Saturday night party. Actors as incisive and persuasive as Wilde, Jensen, and Bird break your heart a little. They do. While the trials they endure are making the same heart race. That's good. I like that. It's committed to the darkness of its premise, and I like that. That's all Bob Grimm said. From Reno News and Reviews. It's committed to the darkness of its premise, and I like that. Talk to Me is a sleek, frightening, and unique construction that digs into teen loneliness. Wait a minute, does it? Does it dig into teen loneliness? Maybe teen trauma, if we're talking Sophie's character. Maybe that, but loneliness and dispossession through actual possession? It is literally bone-crunching and ferocious with gore aplenty, but is so empathetic. Gore aplenty? This is what... I don't even know what... You critics piss me off sometimes. Like, what the fuck? Did you guys watch the same movie as me? Yeah, there's some violent moments in there, but just the words gore aplenty? I don't know if I would go that far. Gore aplenty is like Dead Alive. Gore aplenty is like Hostel. Gore aplenty is like High Tension. How to tension. You know? That's gore aplenty. You know what? As I'm shitting on this person, the person that said that, I'm realizing I may be a little desensitized. I maybe have seen too much shit. You know what? I feel like this is pretty good. I feel like I've made my fucking point. Talk to Me, still out in theaters now. Also just got released on digital yesterday, I think. So again, Talk to Me, starring Sophie Wilde, Zoe Terakes, Miranda, Otto, Chris Alosio, Otis, Dhanji, Joe Bird, Alexandra, Jensen, and a host of others. Written by Danny Philippou and Bill Hinzman, again based on the concept by Daley Pearson. I would love to hear what that concept was in the writers' room. Like, I'm sure like when Daley was like presenting that, it had to sound pretty fucking sweet. I gotta be honest with you, and like filling in the gaps. That's the shit that I live for as a wannabe writer. Filling in those gaps like that, like. Oh, man, that fucking premise is great. How the fuck do we make it work? Yeah, so written and directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. Music by Cornell Wilczek. I hope I'm saying that right. Cinematography by Aaron McLisky. Production design, which was strong, Bethany Ryan. Art direction, Gareth Wilkes. This movie, I don't know what my favorite movie is because, like I said, I do what I do on this show. I barely prepare, and I just let the mic roll and see what the fuck happens. So, I don't know what my favorite movie of 2023 is, gang. And it's actually really late into the fucking year, too. I don't know, but I do know I fucking love this shit. Ellis Cinema. I guess we'll just keep this rolling for a little while. I don't know how much longer. On borrowed time, if I'm being completely honest with you. Ellis Cinema, talk to me. We gone.